Spirit, both now and ever into ages of ages. Amen. Nicephorus was the son of a noble family in Constantinople. In fact, his father was essentially the chancellor of the Byzantine Empire. And he began to move up through the ranks and become part of the household staff of the emperor. And he just got tired of the politics. And so he went away and began to live a very devout ascetic life of prayer, fasting, and people began to gather around him, and the next thing you knew, there was this fairly large monastery. He was not tonsured as a monk because he felt unworthy to be a monk, even though he lived a more holy life than any of the monks in his monastery. And this went on for a number of years, and the Patriarch of Constantinople, Tarasius, died, and spontaneously the Synod of Constantinople elected him the new patriarch. And he tried to avoid it, and they practically drugged him. So he had to be tonsured, then tonsured as a reader, then ordained a subdeacon, a deacon, a priest, a bishop, and then elevated to be the patriarch. And he reigned for some years, and he went through about 3 or 4 emperors because the emperor at the time died, who was also Nicephorus, and his son only lasted 6 months and died, and then somebody else lasted a year, and somebody else 2 years. And they finally selected Leo the Armenian, and he kept refusing to sign the Statement of Orthodoxy that we read every year on Orthodoxy Sunday. And finally, after, even on the day of his consecration as emperor, he refused to sign it, and he began another campaign of iconoclasm. And Nicephorus kept standing up to him, and he finally got sent out in exile and lived in exile for 9 years, and then died because it was a fairly barren place that he was forced in exile. So we call him Nicephorus the Confessor, because he stood up for the truth of incarnation and the icons, our ability to meet God using tools in this physical world, not totally spiritualizing everything. And we remember him for his tenacious struggle with Leo the Armenian, who was determined to destroy icons out of superstition. I will talk about our Lord's miracle healing the blind man, both in the beginning in the courtyard of the temple, and then sending him, tapping his blind man's cane across Jerusalem to the pool of Siloam, which was some distance. And that was a miracle too, that he even believed this guy, that he didn't know who for sure he was, until after the healing of his blindness. And I'll talk about that because that's the gospel lesson for tomorrow. Glory to thee, O Christ, our God and our hope. Glory to thee. Glory to